Joining me now, Congresswoman Karen Bass, Democrat from California, and MSNBC contributor Maria Teresa Kumar. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you, Reverend.
Thanks for having us on.
Congresswoman, you heard the First Lady today.
I did.
This is personal. It's about helping people. What is your reaction to her story today?
Well, first of all, it's certainly personal to me. You know, I have many experiences myself, but it reminded me of when I worked in L.A. County's emergency room, because she mentioned a very important word. She said that she was able to get a response immediately. When I worked at the emergency room, it was for the hospital with people without insurance. It's not that people don't go get health care. The problem is that they wait. They wait, and what wound up being something that could have been completely treatable, you know, I can't tell you how many times I had to go in a room and tell a person that basically they were now terminal because they had waited too long for their health care. And so when you're talking about the Affordable Care Act, you are truly talking about legislation that will and already has saved people's lives. When you have provisions like no pre-existing conditions can be used to exclude people, these are life-saving measures. And it is very personal because everybody has somebody in their family or themselves who has faced a serious illness.
You know, Maria, when we talk about weight, young people are so vital and usually are the ones that say, I've got time. They think that health care is not an immediate concern. And it's crucial to this law that young people sign up. And the First Lady and I discussed that today. Listen to this.
And that's where my passion comes from, because I want for the rest of America what my family has, you know? I want people to have the peace of mind that I have, because it's hard enough being a mother trying to raise kids and then worrying about whether if they get sick, whether you can help them. There is nothing more powerless than being a mother who can't help their child when they're sick. And that's just, to me, untenable. But we now have the resources, but we have to be educated about it. We have to we have to reach out. We have to get signed up, and then we have to sign up others. We need young people signed up too for this, because it's not just about moms and babies. It's about young people who feel invincible, right?
That's right.
Who feel like, I'm never going to get sick. I'm healthy now. Well, young people are the ones who are driving around at late at night, you know, that can get into a car accident or slip at a club, you know, who playing pickup games and could get a black eye, or, you know, cooking for the first time and cut a finger and, you know, bust an artery. You know, health care is something that every American of all ages, particularly young people, because one of the things we learned from one of the women in the group that we talked to who had a nephew that she cares for, she worries just as much because he wouldn't get health care, because she knows that if he didn't get health care, if something happened to him, she'd have to pay for it, right?
Yep.
You know, young people are not just living out there on their own. If they get sick and can't afford it, who's going to have to come in and clean up that financial mess but the parents and grandparents who care about them?
Maria, she really laid it on the line, and not only did she talk about they are not invincible, she talked about the burden that they put on their parents, their grandparents, and that they need to think about that. I mean, this was plain spoken, right to the point.
She was incredibly clear, and I think something that she highlighted earlier, and I think that Congresswoman Bass just mentioned as well, is that this is about preventative care, number one. So you want to make sure that you're healthy, but also you don't know what curve life is going to take you. And unfortunately, in our family, we had a tragedy, and luckily she was 26, so was able to get on her parents' plan, but she all of a sudden 26, healthy, and she had a brain tumor, something that she would never have guessed.
Wow.
And it's these types of cases that it doesn't matter if it's in your 20s, your 50s, or 60s. You don't know what life holds and what kind of cards you have. So the best thing you do is get preventative care. And she's absolutely right, because if we don't get young people, who for the most part are incredibly healthy right now, if we don't get them enrolled, what's going to happen is that everybody's premiums are going to go up. And then one day they're going to wake up and say, you know what, I want health insurance, and all of a sudden their premiums are going to go up. And that's why you have the Republicans, like such as the Heritage Foundation, discouraging young people, because they want this policy to fail. They want people's premiums to go up. And we want to make sure that young people are enrolling so that they basically have fair prices.
But you know, Congresswoman, Republicans will say anything, and I mean anything, to try to fearmonger over this law. On Monday, Congressman Darrell Issa was attacking the navigators who explain the law and help people sign up. Listen to this.
These individuals, these so-called navigators, don't follow any of the rules that every state in the union has for insurance people. This is basically just another form of community organizing paid for with your tax dollars, Acorn revisited, if you will.
Now, he never misses an opportunity to compare anything to Acorn, just something to Acorn. But then last night, Congressman Issa tried to scare people away from the website, saying it was not secure. Listen to this.
We have a lot of investigations, but the privacy of the American people is paramount, and this is one where the jury is not just out, but the information continues to come in telling us that we're not secure.
Now, you know, Democrats say that ICE is just cherry-picking information and trying to make the website seem bad. And the security is fine, Congresswoman.
Well, I think it absolutely is. But, you know, Darrell Issa has been on this crusade for the last 3 years that I've been in Congress. Every month or so, he comes up with some new issue to attack the president for. It is really shameful. I mean, Darrell Issa is the richest member of Congress, worth over $100 million. And so I'm sure in his
say
world...
That again? Wait a minute. Rewind that. Darrell Issa's what?
He is the richest member of Congress. He is worth over $100 million. And I think that it is just not within his thinking that he can imagine. I wished I could take him to spend a day in the emergency room with me so he can see what happens when people don't have insurance. I think, you know, I think about 10 years from now, and I just can't believe that some of my Republican colleagues aren't going to be shamed and embarrassed at what they did, what efforts they went through to prevent people from getting health insurance. It's really shameful, and I know they're going to look back at this with regret.
They are definitely, well, they should anyway, Maria, look back with this with regrets.
Well, and I think what the Republican Party is, you've actually had folks such as Senator Coburn come out, Representative Coburn come out and actually say, this is actually working, the website is working. Yeah. And now they're trying to find other problems with the website. But fundamentally, and what Darrell Issa is talking about, the navigators, he's absolutely right. They are grassroots organizers. Why? Because the only way we can make sure that people are getting enrolled is word of mouth by trusted sources. And that's not wrong. That's exactly what we need.
Congresswoman Karen Bass and Maria Teresa Kumar, thank you both for your time. And
Thanks for having us on.
Thank you, Reverend.
And you can hear my full interview with First Lady Michelle Obama tomorrow on my radio show. Check your local radio.